Welcome to the Scripts and Scenes podcast, a show where we check out movies and TV series. In each episode, we will review a show or a movie that we have recently watched. It could be something old or something new. And at the end of each show, we will let you know where it falls on our rating scale. So we were having a discussion about remakes and Disney's decision on...
New marketing strategy, really.
Yeah. You already made money off of it. You already made gold off of it. You know, why bother going back at it? That's my thing. If it's not going to be the same movie, just leave it as is.
See, for me, I think actually the opposite. I think if you're going to remake a movie, you shouldn't make it beat for beat the same.
Mm-hmm.
You should reinvent it. Like,
okay.
Have you seen Dredd? The Judge
Yes.
Dredd remake?
Yeah.
Have you seen the original Judge Dredd? You can skip the original Judge Dredd.
I think I did.
It's that.
I think I've seen like scenes of it.
Yeah, it's not good. But Dredd is a remake of Judge Dredd, and it is radically different. But at the end of the day, whenever you make a remake, whenever you make any type of movie, my question is always going to be, why? Why are you making this? What's the point? What are you trying?
Money.
Beyond money, because money, I mean, listen, even if the goal is money, right? Mm-hmm. How do you make money making a movie? You got to make a convincing story. Yeah. You got to make a movie that, I mean, at least that's one way to do it. I'm not saying that every movie that makes a lot of money has convincing stories or is good, but certainly it helps a movie to be better than not.
Yeah.
Right? When you're trying to make money. But Disney has figured out that if we just take these name brands that you millennials all remember from when you were kids.
Me? Hey.
You're a millennial.
I'm a Gen Y.
You're Gen Y.
Yeah, 1990, baby.
I think that's still millennial.
I'll take it.
Listen, okay. I won't get too technical on millennial versus Gen Y versus Gen Z versus Gen A, B, C, Q, but Disney's figured out that everyone who grew up in the 90s, who grew up with these nostalgic movies, if you just repackage them, you could make a whole lot of money. Because you don't need to put any work into it, because everyone who already seen it, they're going to take their kids to go see it.
Yeah.
And honestly, it frustrates me. Because I guess we should get to the point of what we're talking about here was Mulan.
Yes, we were watching Mulan.
Mulan, I mean, we only got through the first half. I had to take a break halfway through this thing. I'm not even sure it's halfway through. It's right about the time.
It's 50 minutes in.
They're not even. Mulan hasn't even fought whatever they're calling the Huns in this movie yet. They changed the name because, of course, why would you have anything the same? Yeah. You got to be different, and if your difference has to be superficial.
And special.
But every single scene from this movie that's in the original, they just shave off the comedy. Like, everything's got to be played straightforward, serious. There can't be any room for comedic relief. There's no Mushu. There's no music.
There's no Eddie Murphy. There's
no
right
Eddie
there.
Murphy.
That got me
like... SNL was gone. But you could do, like I was saying, you could do a serious movie. But if your blueprint for the movie is something that's heavily comedic and you just remove those elements, what are you left with? A husk.
Exactly.
It's nothing.
You can't really build on something that's already successful. You can't, because if you copy it, then it's like, all right, you know what to expect.
Right.
If you want to add some secret sauce or whatever, like
shake it up.
You know, like Beauty and the Beast, it was the same thing, like scene for scene.
Yeah.
Lion King, there was moments where I was waiting for a song to come up, and I was like,
disappointed,
and I was just like, I was let down. But you know, Aladdin, I think Aladdin out of those three that I just mentioned was the only one that kind of was just like, like they kind of went outside the realm and they were successful with it. Lion King, not so much, but Lion King just has that, you know, cult following. So everybody's all right, yeah, whatever.
I honestly can't speak to Lion King or Aladdin because I didn't see those movies because I saw Beauty and the Beast, the live action remake, and I hated it. So I was like, I don't want to subject it's not even about subjection. It's just like I didn't want to give Disney money for making those movies.
So, Pinocchio. What if they made Pinocchio? What if they made what was the oh my god. It was like Oliver, like the dog, like it was like a dog.
Oliver's Company.
Yes.
Oliver and Company.
Yep, Oliver and Company.
Listen, you can remake any movie right now. You can do it, and you can do it good. Like, I'm not going to be the one who puts limitations on what you can and cannot do.
Sure.
But you have to make it you have to make the movie stand alone on its own. Like you were saying while we were watching Mulan, if the live action movie came out in 1998, no one would think to remake it because it's garbage.
Exactly.
It's
compared to the comedic relief and the comedic, storylines of the animated one. Yeah, like even it's a Disney movie. Like have a song in it, like when did Disney get depressed when it bought Fox?
I think
that's what I think happened. They got depressed when they bought Fox.
It's just sad for me because you get this company that's their model. The reason that they're the giants they are, that they've taken over everything and will one day be worshipping the mouse. The reason is because they had an animation studio. They made
it happen.
They made it was a Magic Kingdom. They made good. I mean, love it or hate Disney. When they made a blockbuster, when they made a classic, there's a reason it was classic. There's a reason why I do the podcast. I'm singing the songs from Mulan.
Exactly.
Because like that was the music is amazing. The story is. I mean, I'm not gonna say it's revolutionary, but it's at least worth the watch. The remake, I can't even like it's bland.
I just don't like how the story kind of changed that much. I feel like there was a witch. Like I'm going to get into spoilers here with Mulan, but what I liked about it, the reason why I liked it was they didn't just focus on the enemy. It was more of like it was deeper. It was like, all right, well, you saw. I don't know if you saw, but there was a witch that she was outed, and then Mulan is pretty much an outcast as well.
Sure.
So it's like yin and yang. Like she was the bad one. She was exiled or whatever. Mulan is the hero that proves herself a true warrior. She saves the emperor. She saves China. The way that they blend those two stories together in this movie, I thought was pretty cool. But at the same time, it's not your typical love story like in the animated one.
Is there a love interest in this movie?
No.
Why do we have to do that?
No, because they had to hide. For me, I feel like it's a woman. It's an empower. It's. Why does the woman always have to fall in love? Like why does it?
Here's the counter. Why doesn't she? Is it?
Well, from what you were seeing, did you think there was gonna be one?
Yeah, I thought
with the guy, right?
Yeah, they were building to that.
Right. Okay. In the animated one, it was with the captain.
Right.
Right. And the father died. Over here, the captain looks like a dad. You know what I'm saying?
Sure. Yeah.
So.
Daddy. Yeah.
Right there, it's like, let's not go that route.
But I mean, the soldiers that she's in the movie, I get getting rid of the commanding officer angle because you wanted to cast an older dude, and you made it one of their peers, one of Mulan's fellow soldiers. Fine, whatever. That's not a big change.
They're emphasizing more on the actual story that Mulan is a woman and she has to kind of like. She's a woman and she's not supposed to be acting like this and rebelling against the empire.
And why can't you do? I mean, I'm not trying to hop on this too much, but like, I guess if that wasn't included at all, I guess there wouldn't be too much of an issue.
Yeah.
But like, clearly the movie is trying to build
that love interest.
That love interest,
yeah,
and if they tell me at the end they just don't follow through with that, that sounds like
they do and they don't. They do touch on it as you see, but.
But I'm guessing they never kiss or anything like that.
I mean,
like
how you said about that. How you said about that scene, how they will never play that in China. Let's just say they won't play it here, but you do get to see like there is some kind of opportunity for them to meet up in the future.
I don't know. Like, why does it have to be ambiguous? Like if you're gonna do it, why not? I guess if you're gonna do an empowerment story, what about romance isn't empowering? Like, why is
because
that?
Because in China, well, I don't know, but here it's like basically the message that I got was the woman has to do whatever the father says, or the woman has to be a woman. The woman has to be pretty, and like, hey man, if my girl wants to play with yo-yos and freaking chase chickens, you know what I mean, and be a superhero, use her chi. She can use her chi, but as she was shunned by her own community. Everybody was like, oh my god, like. Why is she acting out of place, out of character? At the end of the day, for me, I think it's great for young girls to watch movies like this to be like, all right, well, you don't have to resort to, being a wife and getting married and bada bada boopy and all this.
But I guess my gripe here is that the original Mulan does that better. Because that story of, hey, break the mold is literally, like, this is literally a remake of a movie from 1998 that told that story better. And, I mean, I guess I'm only bringing this up, like, I'm not saying that you necessarily need a love interest in a movie about female empowerment. But I'm saying in a movie that's a remake that had that element already there, what is the purpose of removing it? Like, are we saying that you can't be empowered and be in a romantic relationship? Like, that's just weird. And
I agree.
It seems like they're just trying to set something up to be like, ooh, you didn't expect that to happen. Like, that's not good story.
That's what I got. I was just like, whoa, like, them no kiss, nothing. Like, they hold hands. You know what I mean? Like, it's very like sensual. You know. But at the same time, it's like, I don't think you're wrong. I feel like it's true. Just because you're empowering females, why can't a female in a movie in that role be in a relationship?
Yeah. What's the detriment here? And I guess that just speaks to it, like, the movie...
Let me see. I'm going to look at some of my notes. No, keep going.
No worries. But the movie throws things at you and then tries to just... Oh, this isn't what you expected from the last movie. This is what you were trying to get from the... You saw the original. Boom. Now this way it's different. I'm like, that's not... If you're working on the... If the movie's working on the assumption that I've already seen the original Mulan, and you're just like... throwing these curveballs with that assumption, hoping that that's good. Well, that's not really good, because then your movie doesn't really stand on its own 2 feet.
Exactly.
Like, if you just showed this movie to somebody who's never seen the original Mulan, they're not gonna really take anything away from it. Honestly, it's... Do you
think that they'll ever release Mulan in a physical copy, or will it stay like strictly on digital?
Oh, they'll probably release it in a physical copy. They'll probably, when movie theaters open up again, they'll probably do some big re-release or whatever. It's Disney. Yeah. They own everything.
20th anniversary, yo. I'm selling my Lion King like 100th anniversary Blu-ray thing, and I'm just like, Jesus. But for me, I feel like it's like on the fence where you were saying like, I wouldn't remake a movie if I already thought that it was great. You know, if anything, I would have said like Mulan Part 2 or, you know,
which is there. That's there.
That is there. They always do like a Part 2.
Which honestly, Mulan Part 2 is not that good, but I'd still watch Mulan Part 2.
I would have done. You know how they did like when they did like a spin-off of like The Lion King, and it was like Simba's son's nephew's like cub or whatever.
Simba 2, Lion King 1, Lion King 2, and Lion King 1.5.
Yeah, like those ones, right? If they did that with Mulan and just like went off the script, I feel like they could have done whatever they wanted, and they would have had all the space that they needed in order to accomplish that. Not only, but just by being like, well, we're not mimicking a story, so we don't have to follow the story. This could be Mulan's, you know, great granddaughter or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like they could have went like so far out, but I feel like they disappointed something. For me, if I was to rate, the way that I wanted to do the ratings was, where's Deadpool? Can you pass me Deadpool over there?
Sure.
Just because he has a thumbs up.
This bobblehead. Okay. He's safe.
I got that from Christmas from...
It's a beautiful gift.
Right. It was in a box. I recently opened it.
It's a way to open a Christmas gift.
Alright, so basically it was going to be 1 out of 5 for me. Well, not for me. That's not my...
For Deadpool?
No. So, but there's, for Deadpool. Deadpool does the rating, so it's... If you get 5 Deadpools, that's a...
It's a good.
It's a great. Then 1, you know, man.
I give him, like... For the first...
You'll listen to the first half.
First half, I will give a solid 1.5 Deadpools.
1.5 Deadpools?
I'm not amused.
Alright, you gotta...
What do I gotta do?
Smack the Deadpool or make him bobble. Don't smack him off
like
the thing. No, just make him bobble. 1. Alright. Okay.
That's supposed to be a half?
Yep. So for me, I seen the whole thing. Out of 5, I'll give it a 3. Only because I'm really upset about Eddie Murphy. We should just round up. We can't do 1.5. So
if I can't do odds.
Okay, that's fine.
There's 1.
I'm doing 3, right? Only because, for me, I like the movie. If I had a daughter, I would love her. I would love for her to watch it. But the reason why I didn't like it was because there was no songs.
Mm-hmm.
There was no Eddie Murphy. There's a witch. She has a sister. Um, like I don't know. For me, and then like the enemies. You know, like
the not Huns.
Yeah, the morons. Like
the morons.
Like for me, it was like I like it's if you're gonna what do they say like copying is the best form of flattery or something like that, or
imitation is the highest form of
flattery.
Flattery, yeah.
Right, something like
Something like that.
Right.
Something that smart people say.
For me, I feel like if you're like, and it is Disney. You know what I'm saying? Like that, it's not like Disney. It's not like you're doing Subway and then it's like Way Sub. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not like an off-brand Disney. It is Disney. Like they could have done something. They could have had Cricket. Cricket was a man. Like what?
I didn't even notice that.
You know, like someone must have like given a cricket something to drink. The cricket must have kissed a person. You know what I mean? Like the Princess and the Frog or something.
I'd watch that movie.
You know, but that's probably what he was like. I kissed a girl with red lips or something.
Oh.
You know, but I don't know. That could be Mulan too. That could be somewhere else. But that I don't know. That was just like a few things that really just like. What I really liked about it was the entrance for Mulan. You know, she had a really great entrance when she was chasing the chicken.
Yeah. Definitely not chicken.
But yeah, I would say the things that made me lose the rating was Eddie Murphy, the songs, and the enemies. Because I felt like in the animated one, the enemies were a little bit more like emphasized on it. They were more focused. Like it was really ominous. You know what I mean? There was no Great Wall of China. Like could Disney not have the rights to film on the Great Wall? Like that could be. I think that could be a great possibility. They probably just went to the Sahara Desert. You know what I'm saying?
Something.
You know, the Silk Road. You know what I'm saying?
Somewhere.
But that for me is like, I don't know. If I'm gonna do something, I would want to do it right. Not saying that I do things right. I try. So you know, that's the best way to do things.
And there's also, I mean, so when you make an animated movie, there's sort of an element of this is a fairy tale, right? This is a make believe thing that's going on. Whereas when you make a live action, you're trying to make something a bit more dramatic,
right?
Or at least. Not that you can't be dramatic in animation, but you're trying to be more sincere, I suppose.
Right.
And like when you get scenes, and this is only from the first half, but when the Emperor is introduced, he's sitting on this massive golden throne, and he's told that the not Huns have just attacked a settlement, and he asks, you know, are my people okay? Because they're like, oh, look at him, he's a good leader, he cares about his people. And I mean, I get the Emperor from the original having that element to him, because again, it's a fairy tale. But when you're looking at a dude who's literally sitting on this massive
golden throne
in a massive palace,
infinite fucking number of stairs.
Yeah, like he's a dictator. He's an ancient dictator, and I don't know. I haven't seen the ending of the movie, so I don't know. But the barbarians, the Huns, bring up like, hey, you know, we lost land to the Empire, and I mean,
he killed his father. That's what it was. The Emperor killed.
But I mean, my question is, are the Huns in the original are bad? They are bad.
Yeah, they're just conquering land.
Right.
But I think that was the same thing. Like he killed his father.
Sure, but like they're bad for the sake of being bad in the animated, and that's fine in an animated movie because again, it's a fairy tale.
Yeah.
It's not something that's trying to be realistic. But in real life, if you're a nomad and some empire is stealing your land, like you got, I mean, I'm in the podcast I was like, oh, and that's the Rebel Alliance, because that kind of sounds like
exactly.
It kind of sounds like the Rebel Alliance
the bad guys.
Star Wars. Like, do they do anything with that? There you go. If I was remaking Mulan, that'd be something. If you at least wanted to tell a different story, I'd look at it like that. I'd try to attempt to make it more realistic, but instead they're like, that's too nuanced.
They do it with the witch.
Sure, but she's only one character.
Yep.
And that's only really as a foil to Mulan.
Yeah.
Like that's not trying to say anything bigger. And honestly, maybe it's because they don't want to make China look like the bad guy because they want this movie to sell in China. That could be the thing, but at the same time, what's the point of remaking it if you're not going to do anything unique with it? If it's not going to be what if I had to ask you, you just listed a bunch of things that are different about the movie. Like there's no singing, there's no Eddie Murphy. Let's be honest, a lot of that's just superficial.
Yeah.
Right? If I would ask you, I know I was talking about Dredd earlier, what's different about Dredd from Judge Dredd? There'd be a lot of cinematic things. There'd be a lot of really crucial plot points. There'd be character development, the way the movie's shot. Because someone who made Dredd cared.
Yeah.
And was like, I'm going to...
Here, I think they just wanted to make it.
They just wanted
to make a quick buck. Exactly.
They wanted money.
You know, and that's what they're doing now. It's like, would you pay $30 for that should be another review. Like, would you pay $30 after you've seen the first 50 minutes?
Oh, absolutely not.
Absolutely not?
I would demand...
$15.
I would demand $30 from Disney.
See?
For watching that.
The points that you were just making, 100%. You have to care about the project that you're working on in order for it to really, come to light in the way that it deserves to be shown. The character, the witch, I think was the biggest, curveball in the whole thing. And the only reason why I think it was a good addition was because of the differences that character has with Mulan. The antagonists are just there just to be freaking antagonists. They were just like, oh, I found you as a dog, so now you're gonna be my dog, and then you're gonna roam free in my yard, pretty much.
Yeah.
And you can't roam free in the Emperor's yard. Okay, no problem. So right now she has to literally just, play to his music. At the same time, I don't think that anything else was really changed. I felt like it was just emphasized. Like it was just every scene is probably just a little bit longer. You know what I'm saying? The fighting scene, I'll make a man out of you. You know what I mean? Whatever length that whole scene was, that whole montage was probably the amount of the 2, 3, 4 songs that led up to that point. You know what I'm saying? Like in the animated one, that it was just every scene is exaggerated, but the only thing that I like about it is the actions. The action scenes.
It's pretty nice, yeah.
That's the only thing. Like when she was fighting with her partner or whatever, that was pretty dope. All of those scenes, that's what I like. I feel like those are the money shots. Those are the scenes that I wanted to take pictures of and put up as we do the review. At the same time, nah. I don't think there's anything I don't think they really just cared. I feel like they just wanted to really pump it out, and they were like, oh, this is next. On the catalog, big Disney. What is it? The Lion King came out in '97. Boom. Yeah. 98, Mulan. 99 is going to be what? Like, All Dogs Go to Heaven or something? I don't know.
Honestly, best, if they did an Emperor's New Groove.
Oh my God.
I think that would be amazing. I think they could make that amazing.
That would be pretty good.
Because that's just a road trip movie.
He has a halo.
If I went to heaven, I'm pretty sure. Judging by everything he's done.
But yeah.
If
Emperor's New Groove.
Yeah, if it's just a road trip movie. There's certainly material with that. But I guess they want the big names that everyone remembers from their childhood. And I'm just... You know what I watched, actually? I did watch a little bit of Aladdin the other night. It was on...
The old one or the new one?
The new one.
Okay.
It was on HBO. And I watched the end of that movie where Jafar becomes the genie and he gets trapped.
Yeah.
And I couldn't help but thinking, man, this scene sucks. Because Jafar, I didn't see anything of the movie other than this. But in the original, the final battle sequence, Jafar is just throwing puns left and right.
Yeah.
You're running out of time, and she traps Jasmine
in an hourglass.
Yep. Get the point, throwing swords. He's a sassy bitch.
Yep.
And it's amazing. But then you get this movie, and you get the remake, and there's none of that. It's all, he's just straightforward, he's just bad dude, he's not fun. And then he turns into the genie. And in the animated one, I guess this maybe is just a strength of animation. When Jafar becomes the genie, it's when he uses genie magic bullshit to make stars and galaxies appear in his hand. It's the universe is mine to control and command. Like, that is beautiful animation.
Yeah.
And the music swells. There's power.
Yeah.
And then he gets trapped in the lamp.
Yeah.
And it's like perfect.
That's what I loved about that movie. Is like they cared. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if it's because like I don't know if I saw that Jet Li was in this movie. But I'm like I'm trying to think of like I don't know where I would see where if I saw
in
it.
Mulan?
Yeah.
Was he the commander?
I don't know. That's what I'm like. Am I like missing
It
it?
looked a little bit familiar, but I'm.
But you know, like for me, it's like,
Mm-hmm.
did they do Aladdin that big because they had Will Smith in it? Did they do The Lion King? Did they hype it up that big because of all the A-list characters that were on there, like Donald Glover, Beyonce? Like, I don't know. One thing I did want to ask you. All right. They did make a few animated movies into live action. You know, I think Little Mermaid's coming up or whatever. Have you seen Toy Soldiers?
Yes.
Yes. What if they made Toy Story live action? Like Toy Story 1.
I mean, you could.
Yeah.
But again, why?
Why? Because it'll be so sick. Like imagine like with Avengers toys, like imagine like a kid in the 90s like with like Spider, because Disney owns all of that stuff.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? So and Disney, y'all gotta pay me and my boy here
$30.
Whoa, $30
$30,000
for every single second that is in that movie. $30,000 for every second that's in that movie. And you know, you're welcome for the idea, but
I was take $30.
That's it.
I'm
Jesus.
I'm called a lot worse.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I feel like I don't know. I was just thinking about that. I was like, you know what? We're over here. They're making animated movies into live action, but it's like if they were to pick a animated movie that you don't think that they would ever decide on.
An Emperor's New Groove.
The Emperor's New Groove.
I
Exactly.
think that'd be a good idea.
That would be exactly. I feel like that's so like, it's it's not this. They're not really trying to like. There's no like real. I mean, there is a message behind that, you know, but
yeah.
But it's like there's no like, all right, we can't steer clear from this. Like we can't say this, we can't say that. Like if Borat was released now, it wouldn't be able to be released now, you know.
Yeah, definitely not by Disney.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, like in general, you know. But like, can you imagine like if they made Emperor's New Groove or like, I would love for them to make like a real live action Toy Story.
I mean, look, you could try. It comes to everything. The devil's in the detail. It all comes down to execution. I am never opposed to anyone making anything, as long as you like how you do it is the point.
Right.
And I think there's a lot of. I think the problem moving forward with Disney is that they. I'm losing my goddamn train of thought. The problem moving forward with Disney is that they've discovered that they can make billions of dollars by not putting effort in. Like the new line that came out, like cleared $1 billion in 2019.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money for a movie.
Yeah.
Like Disney's been chumping out $1 billion movies like at least 5 a year now, which is kind of insane.
Pretty much, they're making $100 a year off every person that has a subscription. Think of it like you were going to the movies, right? And it's still gonna come out on Disney Plus. But in December.
Right.
So you're paying $30 to see it now, rather than waiting until December.
Okay.
To then be hit.
Okay, so it's already a thing they had.
Yeah. So.
I guess.
I think they did that. I forgot what other movie they did that with recently. But it's one of those things where it was like, you saw Hamilton. Hamilton, they just threw that right on there.
I have not seen Hamilton.
What? Oh, that movie you got to take. They have the intermissions and everything. Like.
I would. You know, I should just watch a.
We could watch a little bit of it.
Well, not necessarily tonight, but I was gonna say I should just watch like a bootleg Disney. I'm gonna steal it because. I'm
gonna give it to you. I got you.
Yeah, because I would not. I would not. My whole thing. I don't have a Disney Plus. I mean, I already have a Netflix. I have an Amazon Prime. Like I feel like Disney has enough of my money already. And they don't want to give them more, especially where.
I mean, yeah, but it's like for me, it's one of those things where it's all in one. So like you know, you could immerse yourself in some nature. You got some Star Wars. You can go a long time ago, far in the galaxy, far away.
I'll look at that and I'll just be like, man, Disney is a monopoly.
They got everything in there.
That's kind of an issue.
I mean, is it the capitalism?
Yeah.
That's another podcast.
There we go. We're gonna. That's a beyond the screen, scenes and screens podcast.
Oh man. But
that's what it's called, right? Screens and scenes.
Scripts and scenes.
I'm a member. You think I should know that?
But nah, for me, I feel like it's one of those things where, I mean, I support good business. You know, I mean, it could be a studio down the street. You know, and they could be. I'll watch it. You know, like if I'll buy stuff like for my friends that are selling shirts or whatever. But with Disney, it's like everything is here. Like I watched the animated Spider-Man. You know what I mean? When I was a kid, you know, like that's why I gravitate towards it. And then when they threw that Hamilton on there, I was like, oh, well, thank you. I don't know, you know what I'm saying? So
fair.
It's a gift.
It's all there for you. Like, why not take advantage of it? Yeah. No, that's fair.
Listen, in a couple months, my contract is going to be over, so I think it's
decisions.
January 21, 2021 is when I will have to, get back to you on that and let you know if I feel in a certain way about paying them.
I mean, I will say at my work, which was an undisclosed thing, one of my coworkers had a Disney Plus, and we just watched like a season of Kim Possible.
Oh my god!
Because that's my shit.
Yeah.
As a kid, that was.
I was a Danny Phantom guy myself.
Danny Phantom's great.
I like him. Ron Stoppable.
Ron Stoppable's great.
Yeah.
But just even now as I mean an adult allegedly, I'll watch it and it's funny. I'm trying to remember. It's been too long.
Like Wade and stuff. I remember.
Yeah,
I remember.
Solid jokes.
Yeah.
Alright? Like when Ron becomes a supervillain, he's super effective at it. And he's just and all he's trying to do is steal the world's supply of nachos, and he's really good at it. And like when he becomes a supervillain, everyone in the show is like, "Oh no," because he had some weird helmet that like turned him evil, and everyone's like, "Oh my, this is the thing you have to deal with now. That there's a super effective supervillain who's way more dangerous than anyone you've ever faced, but all he wants is to steal nachos." Like that's amazing.
And it's like, I mean, you might as well just let him.
Yeah, you could have just let him have the world's nachos.
Like, here you go. Sorry, Taco Bell, you're out of business.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I'm not sure if you're gonna get it or not.
Oh.
But yeah, I think that's enough of a rant for us right now. We got 30 minutes, unless you wanna say any words. I know I gotta plug in some.
Stop giving Disney money.
I don't know, man. I love Disney.
Listen, if you want to keep Disney Plus, keep Disney Plus.
The Disney Channel.
If you want,
I need like that magic chalk.
there you go. Now, if you want to keep Disney Plus, keep your Disney Plus. But, and this is me, and this is only me, I am not gonna watch any of their live action movies in theaters because Deadpool's shaking his head. Because I mean, okay, I guess I'm a little bit of a hypocrite because I'm literally wearing a Marvel T-shirt right now.
But Disney bought Marvel.
Yeah, and I know Marvel's in the Disney family.
But they bought it, so you know what I mean. This is clearly before they got bought. 80 years.
Well, I hope. But and I know Marvel's in the Disney family, but I'll say this: at least Marvel, when they make movies, like I'm not gonna say they're perfect, they're not Shakespeare, but they absolutely try.
Yeah.
Like they're
in their own lane.
Yeah, they nail it.
Yeah.
It's like as far as one of my friends, who you know, who I'm not gonna name, called it America's soap opera, because it's literally just like that's the thing that we all did. We all, no matter where you were in life.
Dude, I got the game, the Avengers game, and I was playing it, and I was like, I don't know who the main character is, but it's a superhero, it's a girl, and I'm just like, yo, they got me. Like, I was mad because I had to re-download the game because I couldn't record the intro, and I was like, why do I feel this way about it? And that puts a nail in the coffin.
Yeah.
It's America's soap opera.
America's soap opera.
You know, like, think about it. Like, with what comic book, I don't want to put age on there, but like if my dad was born like in the 1940s, I think they came out like in the 40s.
The first comics, yeah.
Yeah, like in the 40s. So imagine, you know what I mean? They were there, and imagine me as a kid. I'm in the 90s watching this. You know what I'm saying? Like it's televised now. So it's like for me, yeah, it's a soap opera. I sit there. I could watch Spider-Man like as a guilty pleasure and never get tired or bored of it. And I could watch the same episode or movie like 100 times.
I wouldn't even call it a guilty pleasure. Because it's good.
Yeah.
When it's good, it's good.
See?
But when it's bad, it's bad. And Mulan.
So you would judge me if I watched Mulan
If you watch this Mulan back to
Yeah.
back, I'd ask if you needed help. If you
I genuinely enjoyed watching the animated one.
Of course, yeah.
You know,
The animated one is. I've watched the animated one more times. I'm singing the songs that they're not even playing in the live action because the animated is amazing. But the remake, if you're watching the remake too many times, then I think that's a cry for help.
Can we touch on something?
Okay, depends what it is.
Chadwick Boseman.
Oh boy.
Right. Dude.
Tragic, yeah.
Right.
It's tragic. The guy is clearly a gifted actor. By all accounts, a great human being, and you know, it's tragic because he had undoubtedly, not just in Marvel, but in anything he wanted to do, he had a career ahead of him. And just beyond the career, he had a talent. And I mean, when I found out about that when I logged on to Facebook the other day, and I saw, you know, R.I.P. Chadwick, the world is a worse place without you in it, and I remember thinking to myself, that can't be. That can't be Chadwick Boseman.
Exactly. That was exactly
like,
when I got.
It's got to be a different Chadwick.
Oh my God! I was like, no way! I was like, it can't be. It can't be.
And then I Googled it and I saw the headlines and I was my first thought was, oh my God, did COVID? But apparently he had this long battle with cancer and.
Dude, I felt like I knew I felt like for some reason that was known to us.
The cancer?
Yeah, or like some kind of sickness.
I mean,
because I remember like there was a role that he was playing that he got mad skinny. And then we were
yeah.
And then like I remember people were like clowning him or like, oh, like why are you doing that for a role? But then I don't know if it was like around the time that we did our review for that movie. But I feel like I don't know, for some reason I wasn't surprised that it was cancer. Like what is it, pancreatic cancer?
Yeah, I think it was colon cancer.
Colon cancer.
It took me by it did take me by shock because he was a young guy. He you know, had a career, had a life ahead of him, and it's, you know, it's tough. It's tough. Honestly, it's something that he was able to keep it as low profile as it was. Apparently, only a few select people in his close family were aware that he was having this battle, and I mean, he was fighting cancer. He was making movies and, you know, being a phenomenal actor.
Do you think if the executives at Marvel or Disney knew that he had colon cancer, that they would have filmed as much as they made him film?
Maybe. I mean, I'm not gonna disparage what that decision-making process would have been. I mean, I'm sure that he kept it to himself and to his family for personal reasons, and you know. As far as, you know, people are talking about who's gonna be the next Black Panther, and obviously, I get it. He created a franchise. It was a historic movie. It was fantastic, and people want to know how is this relic that he left behind going to be taken care of. But at the same time, it's, you know, that's as big of a deal as the movie was. It's a movie next to a person.
Right. I was like legitimately just like shocked. Like it was like in the beginning of the year when Kobe passed away and everybody was like, oh, he died. It's like, oh, I don't know. Like I gotta wait.
One hell of a year this has been.
Like I wouldn't be shocked if there were so many memes that I saw today. Like, oh, Vin Diesel with hair, or like there was like something that hit the moon. And they're just like, oh, to be honest, I'm not surprised in 2020 anymore.
Yeah.
But I didn't believe it. It was like at 10:42 at night. You know what I mean? I'm literally there, like about to go to sleep.
Yeah.
And then I got a message, and it's like, yo, R.I.P. Chad, and I was like, no way. And then I was like, as soon as I read it, I was like, hold on. I felt like I knew that he had it, but then I was just like, it was still so surprising to me. I think it sucks that we lost such a great person that, you know, made, you know, so many young people feel like inspired.
Yeah.
Like
absolutely.
I forgot what someone said. They were like, oh, just because it doesn't matter that he was black. He was a great man. You know, like we have to stop putting labels and stuff, like, because like doesn't matter white, black, brown, yellow, purple, blue, red, like whatever you do is like as a man, as a human, as a woman. You know what I mean? That's it. You know what I mean? You don't have to put a color or whatever. That's race. But this was I'm gonna read a tweet from Josh Gad. He's the guy that voiced Olaf.
Okay.
He played. He was in a movie Marshall with Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah. Yep. Okay.
So the tweet was like, breaking my Twitter silence to share some beauty. This was one of my final texts from the brilliant and once-in-a-lifetime talent, Chadwick Boseman. Take this in and celebrate life. We knew how precious every moment was. Tonight, the heavens received one of its most powerful angels. Now, I'm not going to read the whole thing because my voice is annoying to myself, and I don't know what it's going to be like to you guys, but this first part. Actually, I'm going to do, it might sound like a meditation, but we're stuck inside these damn, I'm quoting right now, okay? We're stuck inside these damn quarantines because of COVID, and now we can't even get no sun in Cali. Come on now. But now that the rain has stopped and today's storm has cleared, I urge you to go outside and take a deep breath. Notice how fresh the air is right now. After our skies have had a 3-week break from the unusual, relentless barrage of fumes from bumper to bumper LA commuters. And now today's rain has given us the city of angels, a long overdue and much needed shower. Inhale and exhale this moment and thank God for the unique beauties and wonders of this day. We should take advantage of every moment we can enjoy the simplicity of God's creation, whether it's to be clear skies and sun or clouded over with gloom. And hey, if the air is air is clear right now and it does rain tomorrow, I might even put jars and bins out to catch the rain. Throw that in the water filter and I have a water more alkaline than any bottled brand out there. So yeah, that was a text from Chadwick to Josh, and I'm gonna end it there. That was something. Thank you for listening. This is actually episode 1.
My God.
The other one was episode 0. And I don't know if that one's going to be released, to be honest. I don't know if they're worthy of that. I think Disney might sue us. So this is going to be episode 1/0.
We'll do 1.5.
1.5. Boom. So what did you rate Mulan? 1, and I did 3. All right. So thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Have a good one, everybody. See you later.
Enjoy life.
Peace.
And all that.
This has been the Scripts and Scenes podcast. We hope you've enjoyed our show. We look forward to having you join us for our future reviews. If you've enjoyed this show, please subscribe and leave a review using your favorite podcasting app. We will be putting out videos every Friday. See you then.